Welcome to study external morphology, life cycle and polymorphism in honeybee. Like other insects, body of honeybee is divided into three parts. These three body parts are head, thorax and abdomen. Head has got pair of compound eyes, three ocelli which are called as simple eyes, pair of antennae, mouth parts and hypopharyngeal glands. Thorax is divided into pro, meso and metathorax. There are three pairs of legs and pair of wings, and abdomen is 10 segmented. Let us study all these body parts in detail. In case of head of honeybee, it bears a pair of geniculate antennae, two compound eyes on lateral side of head. These can distinguish different colors but are red blind and can perceive ultraviolet rays. Head bears three ocelli which are called as simple eyes on top portion which perceive degree of light. In worker and queen bee, compound eyes do not meet at the vertex, and in drone bee, compound eyes are large, black, kidney shaped and unite at the top of the head. So just by looking at the eyes of the honeybee, we can distinguish between worker bee, drone bee and queen bee. Two mandibles are attached to ventrolateral part of head capsule. Mandibles differ in shape in three castes. Workers use mandibles for grasping and scraping pollen from anthers, feeding of pollen and in manipulation of wax scales during comb building. Mouthparts of worker bees are modified for sucking and lapping purpose. Tongue or proboscis, which is formed by medium labium and two lateral maxillae, is used for ingesting liquids. Labium has long median glossa and spoon-shaped lobe which is called as flabellum at the end. Inside the head, there are long coiled strings of small lobes known as hypopharyngeal glands, which secretes glandular food known as royal jelly that is fed to queen and young larvae. Honeybee thorax, it is divided into three segments: prothorax, mesothorax and metathorax. Each of them bears a pair of legs. Meso and metathorax, these segments bear a pair of wings. Legs and wings are locomotory organs. Two pair of wings arise from sides of meso and metathorax. Forewings are stronger than the hind wings. Series of upturned hooks which are called as hamuli are present on front margin of each hind wing. The curved fold on rear margin of forewing works as a coupling apparatus for holding hamuli, and this results in unity of action of the wings in flight. Let us study legs modification in honeybees. Prothoracic legs serves as an antenna cleaner. Basal parts of basitarsus has a notch, and small lobe projects from distal end of tibia, which is called as a tibial spur. It is found in all the three castes. On mesothoracic legs, bushy tarsi serves as a brushes for cleaning of thorax. Long spine at the end of middle tibia is used for loosening pellets of pollen from pollen basket of hind leg and also for cleaning wings and spiracles. Wax scales are also removed from wax pockets of abdomen by these legs. Hind or metathoracic legs differ from other legs in being larger in size and with broad flattened form of tibia and vesitarsus. In worker bees, smooth, somewhat concave outer surface of hive tibia is fringed with long curved hairs and forms pollen basket, which is called as corbicula. So this is the structure of all three legs: prothoracic legs, mesothoracic legs and metathoracic legs. Honeybee abdomen. First abdominal segment is united with the metathorax and forms anatomically a part of thorax, which is known as propodium. Bee larva has 10 abdominal segments, but in adult workers, abdomen appears six segmented. Segment 8, 9 and 10 are reduced in size, and first segment, which is called as propodium, is transferred to thorax during pupal stage. Abdomen bears stings, wax glands. Wax glands are present on sternite 4 to 7 and scent glands on last two tergal plates and genitalia in addition to the other visceral organs. In workers, egg-laying apparatus, that is ovipositor, is modified into sting. Twin uses ovipositor for egg-laying and for stinging rival twin. Polymorphism in honeybee. There are three types of caste present in honeybee colony. These three castes are queen bee, drone and worker bee. Caste means a functionally different form of the same sex of a species, that is same species. For example, female can be either worker bee or queen bee in case of honeybee. Let us study all the three forms present in honeybee. The first form is, or the first caste is, queen honeybee. Each colony has a single queen bee irrespective of the colony size. The queen bee is larger than the worker and drone bees and has a black and shiny cylindrical longer body and a round and comparatively smaller head. She is perfectly developed female and is the mother of the colony. Her primary function is reproduction. She produces both fertilized and unfertilized eggs. During peak production, queen may lay up to 2000 to 2500 eggs per day. One queen may produce up to 250,000 eggs per year and possibly more than 10 lakhs in her lifetime. The second major function of a queen is secreting pheromone, which is known as a queen substance. This substance is required for the stability of the colony, including inhibition of ovaries of worker bees. So queen substance is very important substance which keep all the bees together in a honeycomb. The average productive lifespan of queen is 2 to 3 years. Worker bees. The workers are sterile female which develop from fertilized eggs. The workers are smaller than the drones and have yellowish and dark brown abdominal strips. The workers are the main group in colony, with 60,000 to 70,000 in case of Apis mellifera colony and 25,000 to 30,000 in case of Apis serena colony. They have specialized structures such as hypopharyngeal glands, scent glands, wax glands, and pollen basket, which allow them to perform all the labors of the hive. All the work in a honeybee colony is performed by the worker bee, including honey and pollen collection, brood rearing, building of combs, feeding the drones and queen, cleaning the hive, defending the colony, and also the repairing of the colony. The specific activities are defined by the age of the bee, with tasks inside the hive for the first 3 weeks after emergence. So the first half of the life cycle during first half of their life cycle, worker bees performs indoor duties like comb building, brood care, hive cleaning, thermoregulation, queen care, honey ripening. And then in the second half, they perform outdoor duties like foragers and scouts. Under special circumstances, workers can perform any kind of task irrespective of their age as per the need of the colony. When the colony is active in spring and summer, worker bee may live as long as 5 to 6 weeks. During inactive period in winter, a worker bee lives 5 months and sometimes more. This chart shows life cycle and duties of the worker bees. The worker bee develops from egg, larva, pupae to adult bee, and during first half of its life period, it performs indoor duties like cleaning of the cell, feeding older larvae, feeding younger larvae, feed queen, they build the comb, cleaning the hive and ventilation of the hive. And during the second half of their life cycle, they perform duties such as collecting water, collecting pollen, nectar and propolis. Drone bee. Drones are the second largest bee in the colony and are blackish and hairy. They are the male bees. A colony will usually have few hundred drones. They develop from unfertilized eggs and complete their life cycle in 24 days. They lead a life of leisure, doing no work while being fed by the workers. So they are the true king of the colony. Their sole purpose is to mate with a new queen and also useful to reduce the temperature of the colony by wing beating. They die after mating or are expelled from the hive as winter approaches. Life cycle of the honeybee starts with the nuptial flight. The 7-day-old virgin queen goes out from hive along with some drones for mating, and this is called as the nuptial or marriage flight. Only one drone mates with the queen and she stores those spermatophores in her spermatica. Mating takes place while flying, and after mating, drone dies and queen returns to the hive. The queen has ability to control the release of the sperm from her spermatica. Honeybee life cycle shows 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa and adult. And in adult stage, this is especially true in case of worker bee. They have 3 stages: new adult, then the adult performing nursing duties, which is called as a nurse bee, and then the foraging adult. The first stage of life cycle is a egg stage. Queen lays clearly white, slightly curved eggs in the cells singly and vertically with the thin end attached to the bottom of the cell. Queen bee lays both fertilized, that is giving rise to female worker or queen bee, and unfertilized eggs, which gives rise to males, that is drone bees. The egg stage lasts for 3 days. At the start, the egg stands vertically on the base of the cell, then slants and finally lies flat on the base before hatching. Small shiny white larvae hatch from the egg after 3 days. Initially, the larvae are loop-shaped, lying on the bottom of the cell. but towards the cell capping. They get stretched on their back in the cell with head facing distal end of the cell. Larvae of all the caste molts 4 times. The average larval period is 5 days for a queen, 6 for workers, and 7 days for drone bee. After the cell is sealed at the end of the 8th day and the cocoon has been spun, at the end of the 9th day, the larva passes gradually and without molting into pre-pupa. The pupal stage is a dormant stage. Worker bees seal the cell with a porous bee wax cap and the larva spins a cocoon around itself. The developing bee remain inside the cocoon without eating or moving. The pupal stage lasts for 7 to 8 days for a queen, 11 to 12 days for a worker, and 14 days for a drone. Worker cells are a little smaller than drone cells. The comparative size are 5 worker cells as per linear 25 to 25.4 mm of comb and 4 drone cells per linear 25.4 mm of comb in case of Italian bee. During this stage, the internal organs and body appendages develop. Finally, the adult bee emerges out of the pupa. The adult stage. The adult emerge from the cocoon and bite a hole in the top of a sealed cell to come out. Immediately after emergence, the adult workers are light in color and they become darker after some time. The total time taken to develop from egg to adult is 15 to 16 days for a queen, 20 to 21 days for a worker, and 24 days for a drone. So this is the life cycle of a honeybee. The queen lays eggs, 2 kinds of eggs, fertilized and unfertilized eggs. From unfertilized eggs, drones develop, and from fertilized eggs, worker bee and queen develop. Queen is going to feed with royal jelly throughout her lifespan. This chart shows the development of the honeybee. Thank you.